Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, which is going to be two parts, the first part we're going to talk about Robyn Dixon and Juan Dixon are allegedly married again. And I'm going to tell you why I think the real reason is that they are married if they are actually married, okay? I'm going to tell you why I think they got married. And then the second part, we will just have a fun Kiki catch up on all of the season of The Real Housewives of Potomac, including the last episode. But you know how I do. We just like to talk and have a Kiki and have a fun time. So with that, I also want to remind you that we also do self-love and self-care here on the channel. So be sure to check that out. We have self-love courses, podcast, books, movies. Join our newsletter. It is free. Everything is linked down below in the show notes. So before we kick off, I want to give a shout out to Juanita. What's up, sweetheart? She says, evening, Candy and the Candy Canes. Welcome, my love. Shout out to Darren Hood. He says, hey, Candy. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? So that's right, you guys. As you come into the room, be sure to say hi. Drop your Candy Canes down below. And let's get into it. All right. So first up, we are going to talk about the breaking news that Robyn and Juan Dixon are married again. This is according to People magazine. It says the Real Housewives of Potomac star and the former NBA player have tied the knot for a second time. People can exclusively reveal. Hey, Mod Squad 30 says, hi, I'm new here. Well, welcome, sweetheart. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, it says Robyn Dixon and Juan Dixon are officially married again. The Real Housewives of Potomac star, 43, and the former NBA player, 44, who share son Corey, 14, and Carter, 13, have tied the knot for a second time. People can exclusively reveal. 3 sources confirm their happy news is revealed in the upcoming finale episode of Real Housewives of Potomac's 7th season, which will feature footage of Dixon's big day, which was taped after the show wrapped and did not include Robyn's fellow Potomac housewives. According to insiders, Robyn will open up more about the intimate nuptials at the reunion special, which was taped last Thursdays. Representatives for Bravos and the Dixons had no comment. Back in August 2020, People confirmed the Dixons had obtained a marriage license at the Howard County Clerk's office in Maryland. They had until February to say I do, per what the county clerk said. So February is literally next week, so they were really pushing it. Their wedding was a hot topic this season on rhop, with Robyn telling co-stars Giselle Bryant, Karen Huger, Ashley Darby, Candace Dillard-Bassett, Mia Thurton, Dr. Wendy Osefo, and friends of the franchise, Charisse Jackson-Jordan and Jacqueline Blake, during a recent trip to Riviera Maya, Mexico, that she was planning to get wed away from the gaze of reality TV cameras. I don't even know if I want a wedding. I don't know if I need one, like a traditional wedding, she said, explaining instead that she wanted to have a private ceremony with just her, Juan, and the kids. I'm going to keep it super simple. It'll just be the 4 of us. We're not telling anyone. It's literally just a ceremony and that's it. We don't need no cake, no reception, nothing. She later told her assistant, adding in confessional, the thought of an actual wedding and all of the pomp and circumstances that come with it, that doesn't excite me. It just feels more special to do it privately without worrying about everyone else and how they perceive it. Listen. Side note, girl, Robyn, bye, shut up. Nobody's believing you. This is what I think the real deal is. Number 1, you did not want to get married on the show because you would have to actually come out of pocket. I don't think that Robyn and Juan were ready or maybe even had the means to put on a, quote, pomp and circumstance wedding for the cameras. Because if you're going to do it on TV, if you're going to do it on Bravo does not foot the bill for the entire thing. Maybe they'll give you a stipend, but maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, it's Robyn and Juan. I don't really see Bravo footing the bill for them like that. So I think that they did not want to pay the money, and they were worried that if they did a kind of bootleg half going on ceremony that they would be clowned on social media. They would be clowned by the other women. So I think that the reason why they didn't want to do anything on the show and on the camera is because they didn't have the money to pay for it, right? Secondly, I think that they didn't actually want to get married legally again. And they don't want the witnesses. They don't want the smoke. They don't want the whole, ordeal, because it was a fake wedding anyway. They're just friends at this point. They're roommates. So why spend the money? Why put everybody through everything when it's a sham? But I'm going to get into what I think is the real reason. If you probably have already seen, spoiler alert, that's on the screen right now, that they got married. But let's keep going. Robyn previously said she and Juan planned on getting married in July of 2022 when they were in Jamaica for her brother's wedding. But sources tell people that never happened. It's also unclear if they signed a prenuptial agreement. rhop viewers saw Robyn pushing for Juan to sign one with a, quote, infidelity clause and everything. In earlier episodes this season, it was only when Juan agreed to hammer out one with her that Robyn said she felt ready to proceed down the aisle, the mother of two noting that a weight had been lifted off her chest. Now I just want to start planning our wedding, she said on the show. Like, I can't wait. I'm excited. Listen, girl. Stop lying. This is the thing. First of all, I'm not sure that this wedding is real. What I mean by that, until I see an actual marriage license, until I see a marriage certificate, I'm not buying it. Or they got married because they don't want Robyn to be deposed in the lawsuit that Juan is in. And let me tell you what I mean by that. We all know that Juan is named in a sexual assault lawsuit against Coppin State University, okay? Now, let's do a refresher course on that. That is also why I think that Robyn was making such a big deal about the prenup on the show, because in case, again, the lawsuit is not against Juan specifically, but he is named in the lawsuit as someone who is accountable for the situation. He's named in it, okay? I think that in case anything happens with Juan and he's sued civilly or anything goes on with this, she wants to say, oh no, we have the prenup, so our finances are separate. So if he is found liable in any way in this lawsuit, they can't go after her money. You see what I'm saying? And then maybe they got married, maybe, because again, I don't 100% believe this. Even though People is reporting this, I don't know if I believe it 100%. Not that I think People Magazine is lying, but do I think that People Magazine was fed a story that they wanted to put out there? And the reason why I think they want that story out there is because they don't want Robyn to testify or to be deposed against Juan in the lawsuit. Now, as a refresher course, this is from the Shade Room, okay? And it says, rhop's Juan Dixon named in sexual assault lawsuit against Coppin State University. A former Coppin State basketball player has filed a lawsuit against the university, naming key staff, including head coach Juan Dixon. Ivan Williams says Dixon failed to act when Williams disclosed that Lucien Brownlee, a director of player development, was allegedly tormenting and harassing him into sexual acts. The suit claims William knows, quote, by information and belief that Brownlee is behind an elaborate sexual assault scheme. Williams says he sent someone he believed to be a woman sexual images of himself under the guise of a budding romance. But the catfisher soon turned into a blackmailer, threatening to use the images unless Williams fulfilled deviant requests. When Williams refused to comply with requests, the blackmailer leaked the sexual photos to the staff and team per the suit. The lawsuit doesn't primarily target Dixon, but argues that he was negligent in protecting Williams. It also named Coppin State University and the University System of Maryland, Lucien Brownlee, athletic director Derek Carter, and the state of Maryland. Williams reportedly filed the lawsuit last week, according to Baltimore Brew, who broke the story. Last week was back in November, guys. which is why I think they're getting married, or they got married, because either one, they're saying they're married to, quiet all the rumors about him and the blonde woman from Georgetown, to quiet all the rumors about his sexuality. Again, on my show, anytime we talk about sexuality, it's not coming from a disrespectful place. It's coming from we talk about the tea place. We talk about it all. So if you're gay, you're straight, you're trans, we are equal opportunity over here. Love is love. Okay, so I think that it's to put all of that to bed, the cheating rumors, and not everybody, but there were a lot of people speculating on Juan Dixon's sexuality, particularly his relationship with Michael Darby, and other stuff. Now, I also think them saying they got married, or if they actually did get married, I think it has to do with this lawsuit. So she cannot be called to witness against him or to post against him, because if two people are married, legally, you don't have to basically snitch on your spouse, right? It's called spousal privilege or something like that. But let's keep going. Though the blackmailer claims to be a third party, Williams strongly believes Brownlee is behind it all. The catfish communication began during Williams' first semester in the fall of 2018. By the end of it, the catfisher became a blackmailer. They allegedly demanded Williams agree to any request or risk his private conversations and images be exposed. By the end of the spring semester of 2019, Lucian Brownlee told Williams that the blackmailer also had images of him. At the time, Brownlee was a senior who was going to return as staff for the following semester, per Baltimore Brew. After that conversation, Williams began receiving requests to engage in sexual acts with Brownlee, but the athlete refused at first. In the fall semester, the threats ramped up again. The blackmailer, knowing Brownlee's availability, requested a video of Williams and Brownlee engaging in a sexual act, okay? In early December, the blackmailer alerted Williams that Brownlee was going to arrange a sexual encounter between them. Williams ignored the request. As the days passed, more requests for sexual videos rolled in, and the blackmailer rejected a solo video Williams sent. The blackmailer insisted Williams engage in sex with Brownlee all the way through March 2020. So how is Juan Dixon involved? In an attempt to distance himself from the blackmailer, Williams disclosed a different allegation to his family. He shared his discomfort with the unchecked use of illegal drugs and inappropriate behavior of members on the basketball program during away games. In response, his father set up a meeting with head coach Dixon to discuss the drug issues. When Williams returned to campus in the fall of 2020, the blackmail started again. When Williams paid the request no attention, alleged blackmailer Brownlee released the images to the staff, team, and public in November 2020. The suit says that the following day, Juan Dixon called Williams to practice, where they spoke about Brownlee. Defendant Juan Dixon admitted to the plaintiff that Lucian Brownlee was mentally ill or otherwise emotionally imbalanced, and that his history was known to the coach, Derek Carter, and the school, the suit states. Defendant Dixon again confirmed his awareness of Coach Brownlee's instability later that same evening in a phone call to plaintiff's brother and father, where defendant Dixon repeated that Lucian was, quote, sick and had a troubled background. So basically, where Juan comes into this is that he knew that this guy Brownlee was a danger to himself and to society, and he still allowed him to be around the students, and he failed to act. Now, the reason why this is so salacious is, A, of course, it's a student and it's a sexual situation on campus. It's also, male on male, which shouldn't be salacious because, we accept all people here. But unfortunately, in society, that's still sensationalized. And I think that the fact that Juan Dixon's own sexuality has been called into question kind of puts gas on the fire, if you know what I mean. So that's what I think is going on here with this alleged Juan and Robyn getting married. One, I need to see the actual receipts. I need a marriage license. I need it to be signed. I need it to be dated. I need it to be signed, sealed, and delivered before I believe that they are actually married. Either way, whether they are just saying they're married or whether they are legally married, I don't think it's because that they are in love. I think it's because A, they don't want her to be called to testify or give evidence or be deposed against him in this lawsuit. I also think that's the reason why she kept talking about the prenup on the show, because she wants to make it appear like her finances are hers, his finances are his. So if he does get found liable, maybe not criminally, but if he's found liable civilly, he may have to pay up. So she doesn't want her finances entangled into his lawsuit. That is what I think is going on. But I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think Juan and Robyn are all happy families and they really are, you know, happily married and this is all because they love each other? Or are you like me and you think this is a sham? This is a farce, and stop playing with our time. Stop playing with our emotions. Put it down below. Stick around, my candy canes. I'm going to take some of your candy cane questions and comments, and then we also will do a recap of the show, but I'm going to use this segment as itself, so be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And also be sure to check out our description box down below. We have tons of self-care goodies, so grab some. So with that, you guys, let's get into the actual show. Dun, 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 dun.